So before 14, what's going on is, Jesus is doing his thing. He's teaching. He's healing. Okay? This seems to be a theme with the boat, because we're going to get to a boat here pretty soon. Jesus is doing some pretty cool stuff. He just fed 5,000 people. Actually, it was more than 5,000, but he fed 5,000 people with like a couple loaves and a couple fish. I mean, pretty awesome stuff. And so here we are. Chapter 14, verse 22. He's done some amazing things. And we're going to start reading, all right? And the theme of the boat, okay, listen, I don't know what it is about boats and Jesus and the disciples, but they got a lot of things. The disciples have a lot of things to learn when they get on boats, apparently. So I'm just saying. So come sail away.
Sail away.
Just making sure you guys haven't fallen asleep this far in the message. All right, verse 22. Immediately after this, Jesus insisted that his disciples get back into the boat and cross to the other side of the lake while he sent the people home. Okay, let me just say this. Jesus was a people person, and he was awesome, okay? But do you ever get peopled out? Like, I've just had enough of people. I need to have my alone time. Well, Jesus was having this moment because he was actually, we'll see that he was actually going to pray and to get away. There's something powerful. That's another message for another time. But if you find that life is crazy, even Jesus got away. It took some long time to pray. You can let that go where you want. There's the message. All right, we're done. Let's pray. All right. After sending them home, he went up into the hills by himself to pray. Night fell while he was there alone. Meanwhile, the disciples were in trouble, far away from land. Again, it's night. What are the disciples doing on a boat at nighttime? You think, in chapter 8 somewhere, that they would have figured out nighttime on the water, bad, right? Don't you think that's bad? I'm just saying. Okay, so, and I don't know if like the Sea of Galilee has like hurricanes like every like other night, because kind of like Florida, with like all these different hurricanes coming up. But apparently another storm is a brewing. And yes, you can use that word, a brewing. There we go. That's my Kentucky word for the day. All right, so meanwhile, the disciples were in trouble far away from land, for a strong wind had risen, and they were fighting heavy waves. All right, moral of the story is, don't get on the boat at nighttime. The other moral from last night's message, don't get on the boat naked at nighttime. There we go. I'm just saying. About 3 o'clock in the morning, again, nighttime. Why 3 o'clock in the morning? People should be sleeping at this hour of night. Jesus came toward them walking on the water. Okay? So, they're probably freaking out about the wind and the waves anyway, because they don't want to get flipped over the water. And here comes Jesus walking on the water. Okay, so here's their reaction. When the disciples saw him walking on the water, they were terrified. Yeah, duh. Dude, if you came walking across the water, across that lake over there, I don't care if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I'm going to freak out and piddle on the floor. I'm just saying. It's going to happen. It's just not natural. I mean, seriously. There would be lots of piddling. I think you guys would admit it too. Everybody would have their depends on it. I'm just saying. All right. They cried out, "It's a ghost! It's a ghost!" So they're not only freaking out about the wind and the waves, which you've already seen this before. They're like little school children. They're freaking out that someone's walking across the water. They have their rights to freak out about that. I'm just saying. People walking on the water, scary stuff. So they're like, "Oh, it's a ghost!" But Jesus spoke to them at once. Dudes, easy, man. Don't be afraid. It's me. Take courage. I'm here. I think he said this before to them. And then Peter called him. Okay, Lord, I've seen you feed 5,000 people and heal people. If it's really you out there, why don't you tell me to come to you and I'll walk on water with you. By the way, if you challenge God, God might challenge you back, FYI. So easy with the challenges. All right. So Jesus said, yeah, come on. What's the problem? Yeah, sure, come on. So Peter went over the side of the boat and walked on the water toward Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind and the waves, he was terrified and began to sink. "Save me, Lord," he shouted. And Jesus immediately reached out and grabbed him. "You have so little faith," Jesus said. "Why did you doubt me?" And when they climbed back into the boat, the wind stopped. And then the disciples worshipped him. "You really are the Son of God," they exclaimed. "Truly, you are." Today is encouragement. All right? I don't want you to feel leaving this place like, man. But I want to challenge you today. We've had a great weekend. We had some good times last night. We've laughed, we played Wawa Man, and people tasted like cappuccino and tasty cakes. It was awesome. We've had a great time. And some of us have come into the altar, some of us have been sitting down, praying and worshiping, and God has been moving. And so, we've been in the boat here at Delanco, but I think it's time to get out of the boat. Okay? It's time to get out of the boat. And I heard last night people talking about, you know what, I don't have a lot of friends or Christian friends at school. It's hard to find them. Here's the challenge. I bet you some people say, you'll be surprised there actually are Christians at your school. If we actually talked about Jesus with other people, you might find out, oh yeah, Jesus is my homeboy too. Sweet, awesome. I am cool and down with that. So it might actually mean that you have to step out on faith. Actually step out of the boat and take the risk. And yes, it's going to be scary. And yes, there are going to be winds and waves. Or I'm afraid of what people might think. Or people might say, your mom goes to college. You know, I'm just saying, I like that movie. All right. So they might make fun of you. It might happen. But guess what? Step out. And there might be other things that you're dealing with this weekend. All right? Like adults. God may be asking you to step out. It may be time for you to change jobs. It may be time for you to go to another school, or it might be something going on. Students, same for you. Even though you're in high school, God may be telling you to do something. Maybe it's a mission trip. Maybe it's go ask for forgiveness from someone or forgive someone. It may be something. And God is saying, step out.